welcome to the latest with Maya. Maggie played Detective Juliet O'Hara in Psych and in the Psych movies. She has also been in Outmatched, Party of Five, Santa Clarita Diet, Sugar Plumbed, and so many other projects. Currently, you can see Maggie in the new show Boston Blue. I am so excited to be talking with you. Thank you so much for joining me.
Maya, I am so excited to be talking to you. Thank you so much for that intro. And also, from Jimmy to James to Tim, like we've all like talked about you. And I feel like yeah, like I was like, you've talked to literally everyone. I know everyone loves you. And I feel lucky I get to finally talk to you now.
Oh, thank you so much. I feel so lucky to get to talk with you. And I interviewed Tim last week, and I was telling him that you and Tim are have both been at the top of my vision board for people I'm like I need to interview for so long. So
Yeah, that's awesome. I also love that you have a vision board. That's like, I have one too. I love that. And of course, we're here. We're here. We're just excited to talk to you.
oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Um, Thank you. So who has had the biggest impact on you professionally?
Oh, wow. Oh, man. Who has had the biggest impact on me professionally? These are good questions. That's a good question, Maya. Um, I have had a few people have insane impacts on me, but it's mostly because they were part of like the road to get where even I am today and what they did to help me. Um, I can't even, the list is so long. But a few people stand out. I would say when I was young, I I did Annie, the musical Annie. I played Annie, and the guy, the actor who played Daddy Warbucks had become like quite a Broadway actor. Like it was a really big deal that he was in Louisville doing this play. And um I I will be honest, I was not good when we started rehearsals for Annie. So I got really lucky to get this role, to get this. I was 10 years old. And it was at that point I had done a few plays, but this was sort of a lead, like a first lead, and I could sing a little, dance a little. I hadn't had a ton of acting experience yet, but they needed to triple cast the role so that because we were kids, and so we couldn't do shows every night, so they would alternate the cast. And I always said like I could dance a little and sing a little. There was another one, the other Annie, this girl Brandy, she was fantastic and she was such a good singer. And then Ashley was such a good actress. And I was sort of a little bit of a mix of all the things, but I really was not like even I knew. I was like I'm not I'm not doing a very good job at this yet. And I was really intimidated by this guy who was playing Daddy Warbucks. His name is Yul Cornett. Um, and I remember early on, had told like a couple of the adults in the cast that were looking out for us kids, like maybe, you know, not to tell me that I wasn't doing a good job, but like to push me a little, maybe give me some notes, see how that would go, because I really wasn't connecting. Like I just was so nervous and so intimidated all the time. And I one day I was talking to him and he kind of he wasn't the warmest, but he was like you know, maybe in this scene, just like try this and see what happens. And he said, don't think about your lines. Just listen to me. Just sit here and listen to me. And you'll see the flow of like how the lines go. And I did the scene and he was like, see, that made a difference. And the next day, he'd come in and he'd give me another note. And the day after that, he'd come in and give me another note. And by the way, I'm taking the notes and I'm doing them, but I was like also like, oh gosh, I'm so bad. Like this is so bad. I'm so bad that they're having to like tell someone other than the director to try to talk to me to make me better. And over the course of the 6 weeks that I did that show, you'll not only, and I feel like I can say this, and the other people in the cast would probably agree. I I feel like I learned so much in that time. I feel like I grew so much in that time, and then he sort of became a mentor for me until I moved to LA. He helped me with every monologue, every audition I would have, even locally. And even some things that happened in. So when you say like who had the biggest impact, I do think that that time, and I know I'm just talking about it, the time when I was 10 years old, but I do think that that time in 1990 um, changed my life forever. And that experience of doing that production at that time. Um, because I started working at that theater pretty regularly after that, and I worked there all through my high school years. And it was another director, a man named John Huffman, who I worked with, um, who, when I told him I might consider coming to LA, he had worked in LA and been in a couple of movies. Um, he made a phone call to a casting director who was a friend of his. She was the casting director for Days of Our Lives, and he said, someone I've worked with might come to LA, and her name was Fran Bascom. And I'm just wondering if you have a few minutes. Like, I think back to Yule taking the time and care and consideration to take a 10-year-old under his wing. This guy who was like, this big guy on Broadway. He had just come off like Camelot on Broadway, and like it was like a big deal to take the time that he took with me to help me not only then but through those years. And then this other director that I worked with, John, who is actually in a play right now at that theater in Louisville, but he was going back and forth to LA a lot, and I had this opportunity to go, and he made that phone call to Fran Bascom. And Fran Bascom, this is a long story, Maya, but I'm just telling you how the chain of events happened from this one thing. Fran um met with me for a few minutes. She had me read like a scene for her and just to see if like it was something I could, do. And she made a phone call to her friend, who was a woman named Ro Diamond, who was an agent who ended up being my agent for 10 years. Ro got me psych. Um, and so the chain of events of just those even four people, um, changed my life forever. But that is where it started. And I would also add my family to the mix too, because they had to, they were so supportive and all that. But in terms of like acting and how I'm even here, I think to some of the people along the way who helped me, and I know this is probably boring because somebody was probably like, she's gonna say Diane Keaton or somebody like that. Who, by the way, also he had a major impact on my career. But um, these are the people that took time, and it's like this, I can talk about the people I've met even since I've been in LA in the business, which there are so many of them too. But, it goes back to this like little girl with a dream. And then because you do need help and you need people along the way to like, it's hard. It's like, it's such a hard road. But, I think back on those people that made phone calls and took time to care, give me notes, make me, challenge myself to be better, and then, get here. And that is where it began.
Wow, that's incredible.
It all started with Annie, at Derby Dinner Playhouse in Louisville, Kentucky. So it's also a way to say you just never know. So like these little things that pop up in your life that like you never know where something is going to lead. And oh my gosh, now I'm getting like now I'm very emotional thinking about it. But yeah, I that those are the people who had the biggest impact on my career. At least that changed my life to yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Oh, wow, that's incredible. Um,
Yeah.
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 Who has had the biggest impact on you as a person?
Mm. I mean, that list is long. Um, I mean, I go to my family just because they have, I believe that is where, it's where all of who we are kind of, I mean, for obvious reasons, begins, but it also, it's how and why we become like who we are. Uh, and to this day, I still feel like the relationships within my family, for better, for worse, are the ones that challenge me and push me to grow, um, and think and change and confront myself, I think, which is like the hardest relationship. It's really funny because when you said that, I was like, man, nobody's harder on me, nobody than myself. Like I am my worst critic. I am I am my own worst voice a lot of the time in my own head. Like, and so it's weird to put that on because I have these like eras of my life that I feel like people had at different eras an impact that put me into like the next era of my life. There are people I think that come along, relationships, friendships, whether romantic or not, or whether romantic for a short time or romantic for a long time or whatever, that, push us to grow. I do think that all kind of starts with our like family and our family of origin, but like my friends and relationships that I have had throughout my life, have all taught me something. Like and helped me learn or change or heal or even the hard ones that have hurt. They make you grow and change in a certain way to become like who you are. So I'm sort of grateful for all of it. But when you asked the question, I know it's not one person because I said my family, but I do think just as a whole, um, they have had the greatest impact on my life.
Oh, I love that.
And
Yeah,
my friends, I have like my family and my other family, like my
yeah,
extended family, friends. It's like
yeah.
I feel so lucky. Um, I just feel so lucky that I feel like everybody who I can look at, even in my life right now, I think like they've all had an impact. They've all, I can also look at all of them and be like, I love you so much. Like every single one of you. Anyway, so yeah. Sorry, Maya. Maya, we're going deep.
Yeah,
We're getting
I
into
love
it. I love it. I love
it.
it. You're not like, where'd that pineapple on site come from? You're like, let's get into it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nothing against the pineapple question.
Yeah.
I love the pineapple question still, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, definitely. Um, so what has been the biggest obstacle you've overcome?
Oof. Greatest obstacle I've overcome. I feel like that I feel like I feel like being aware of my obstacles, and I'm just gonna call them like my my personal obstacles that I almost kind of create for myself in a lot of ways, just from my own head and blocks or whatever. But I would say maybe this is just being in my 40s now, that I think I'm getting more comfortable with accepting myself kind of as I am, which I think for a long time, and by the way, this isn't every day, this isn't like something I've fully overcome or conquered yet, but I recognize it, and I think that's been part of pushing through to the part where I can overcome this, which is like, I have a lot of my life just by default, um, I can fall into like people pleasing mode, um, you know, sort of acting more from a place of other people's expectations for me than authentically who I am or what I kn need for myself or know is right for myself. Um, and I think I'll just say even over the last like 2 years, I've become more aware of the moments that I am stepping away from my own self and like connection to my own self or what I know is right for me. To know the difference between that. And then when I'm going into like, a mode of doing something because I feel the expectation of the other person. I want to go into pleasing another person. I want to go into, you know, being or living the way somebody else might need or want me to, versus living in my own, kind of alignment with myself. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
And
Yeah.
so I think I'm getting better at um that. I think that I'm overcoming not I'm just more aware of it now. I'm like, wait, this doesn't I don't something doesn't feel comfortable here. So I'm I have to look at that. Whereas before I would just sort of do it by default. Like it would sort of be like, well, this is what'll make everyone else happy. So I'll just do that. I didn't even know how to think like does this feel right for me and my heart or my life or whatever. So I think that that awareness and then, the work that goes into doing that every single day. This is not, again, it's not like I've conquered this, but it is something that I think on a daily basis I'm more aware of and can check in and say, because I think that my relationships will be better if I'm showing up in my own truth or authenticity. My work will be better if I'm showing up that way, and I will be, hopefully more at peace there too. I don't know, Maya. I'm try I'm learning every day, or trying every day, but that's been a big one in my life that I've worked really hard on, and I feel like I'm making a little headway with it.
Wow. Yeah. Yeah.
Thanks. You're
Yeah.
so lovely and like easy. Like it's just these are beautiful questions and not easy ones, but I'm loving the thought you've put into to this. Like you're so good at this.
Oh, thank you so much. That means so much. Thank
Yeah.
you. Um, so what lessons from your childhood have most impacted your worldview?
Lessons from childhood. Well, this will kind of go to what I was just saying. When I was young, my grandfather used to always say, you keep your own golf score. That's what he used to say all the time. And I remember as a kid sometimes, I remember him saying these things occasionally. Um, uh, and being like, what? When you're a kid, you don't really take it in so much. And I remember at one point, it was just he and I, we were talking, and I was talking out a problem with him. And he said to me, you know, Mag, you keep your own golf score. And I finally said, Grandpa, what does that mean? And he was like, he said, um, in golf, in the game of golf, which I knew nothing about, uh, you actually do keep your own score. So you have a little piece of paper, you write down your own score, right? So nobody's writing it, nobody's checking it. You can cheat all you want if you want. And his point was, you have to live with you every day. So, what is that for you? What are your values? What do you stand for? How do you go to bed at night and feel okay with you? And if you can live by that, knowing you know when something's right, something's wrong. You know when something, if you can live by that as a guide, because you really are in, it's your life. You're in control of your life. Nobody's at a certain point, especially as an adult, it's not the same. I mean, yes, we have rules and jobs and all the things, but at the end of the day, in your life and your relationships, you have to live with yourself. That relationship has to be, in hopefully, being truthful with yourself, being loving with yourself, because you can be truthful with other people and loving with other people and good and, you know, uh, it goes back to that, like, if you don't love yourself, like, then how can you love? I mean, I know that's a really simplistic or basic sort of thing I know people say, but it's been one of the most impactful. It has stayed with me my whole life. And he passed a couple years ago, but that idea and that thing that he used to say that for years I had no idea what it meant. When he explained it to me, and I kind of love that he waited. I want to say I was like in high, like 14, maybe 15 when he told me. I remember exactly where I was sitting. And I think that I hear it all the time. I hear it almost every day when I'm weighing something out or thinking about, like, so it was a really valuable thing to learn kind of early on. Which again, I think why the reason it's come back is such a like powerful thing at this point in my life, or like a thing I hear more and more and more now, is because I am trying to sit in that a bit more, like, what is right and wrong to you? What feels good to you? It seems so basic, but it isn't when you think about it. Anyway, so that is the first thing I could think of, probably a million, but that's the first one that came to mind and the one that stands out the most.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
It was a good one.
yeah, I love that. Um, so what small things bring you joy on a daily basis?
One of them is walking into the room right now, and his name is Linus, and he's a little fur ball, and I love him so much. Hey, buddy,
Oh.
um, come here. You come over here. Um, Hands down, Linus is my, like, oh man, here he comes. He's gonna come say hi. Oh, okay, you're gonna go lay on the chair. All right, I'll bring him over in a minute. But um, all of my doggies have had an impact on me, but Linus is every day. He just I feel like I learned so much from him. I want to be like he teaches me so much about like being present and chilling out and go with the flow and all that. And so I he's the greatest, brightest piece of joy in my day every single day. And so that's one. Um, my morning coffee. I will think about my coffee that I'm having in the morning the night before. Like, that's how excited I am to get up and have my coffee time. That brings me a ridiculous amount of joy. My coffee time in the morning. I'm sorry, but I love it so much. I will get up. I will have like let's say a 5:30 pickup in the morning, and instead of getting up at like 5 a.m., I'm just getting ready and getting out the door, I'll get up at 4 or 4:30 so that I can have a solid chunk of time um, to just sit with my coffee. It's like I call it, I have a podcast called Me Time, but I call it, it's like my me time. It's how I start the day. And it's sort of like, I don't know, it's just a very peaceful, warm time for me. Um, so I love coffee. I love my coffee time. And
I
my
love that.
dog.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah, dogs are the best.
Dogs are the best
Yeah,
ever. Maya, do
yeah,
you have a dog?
I
Or are
do.
you around? Be able to...
Yeah.
Is your dog there?
She is downstairs with my mom
Okay.
at the moment.
Okay, okay, okay.
I would bring her in, but also she gets very excited, so she can be a little
Oh,
disruptive. So,
got
um,
it. Okay.
but I would
That's so
bring
cute.
her up. But
That's
yes,
totally okay. But I love that you have a dog. What's her name?
yeah, her name's Roni.
Roni.
Yeah.
What kind of a dog?
She's a plot hound mix.
Oh,
So,
amazing.
yeah.
That's so cool. I love that. I love that you
Yeah.
have Roni.
Yeah, she's the best. We got her right before I started radiation in 2021, and so she's just like my favorite furry creature. Um, she and I like snuggle all the time. So
I'm so glad you have Roni.
yeah.
I think that dogs, especially when we're going through honestly anything, but you've been through, so much, and like to have that to snuggle up to when you get home,
Yeah.
it's a really healing thing, honestly. I do think
Yeah.
that they have like special powers
Yeah.
around that I'm literally like,
Me too.
I don't know what I would do
Yeah.
without him. I'm a better person because of him. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like the other day I was upset about something, and like I was just kind of in my head, and Roni and I looked at each other, and she was sitting in her bed, and she like l looked at me, and then she just came up to me and started licking me.
I
So
mean,
I was
that's what I mean, right? Like, and they
yeah,
also just know. They know when you're going through something. They know,
yeah,
they're just full of love. And like I just
yeah,
love them so much.
yeah,
What is your
yeah.
favorite thing about Roni? Or how I'll say, how has Roni changed your life?
Oh,
Sorry, I'm doing
yeah. I mean, in so many ways, she's brought, I think my family and I have always been, my mom like raised me and my sister to be like, you can find joy in anything, and some like something good, something to laugh about. And so we've always had like the joy and laughter in our house, and Roni has brought even more of that, um, which has been really nice. She just like
Oh,
um, she makes us like laugh nonstop. So my mom and I have like this thing where we always joke like we're trying to get Roni to like love. I'm like trying to get her to love me more. My mom's trying to get Roni to love her more.
everyone's competing for Roni's love.
Yes.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
love
when
it.
my sister's home, she's like I mean, Roni kind of like rotates between all of us, that she like we're all her favorite, but she sometimes is like more attached to one person. And so
Oh,
whenever my sister's home, she's always like with my sister. Um,
oh,
and then she
oh.
and then when it's just me and my mom, we're like competing for Roni's attention.
I love
So
that. It sounds like Roni fits right in. I love
she
it.
does. Yeah, she's the strangest dog ever, so she definitely fits in with our family. So,
Oh, that's awesome. I always
yeah,
say that about Linus. I'm like, he is so quirky, so it's no wonder he's my doggy. Right,
yeah,
buddy?
I love that.
So much. That's awesome.
Yeah. Um,
Dogs are the best. Yeah.
they are. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm lucky to my mom has like my sister and I have always grown up with a dog. So,
Yeah.
yeah, I feel very lucky. So,
It is it because they change our like they soften our hearts. I feel like I'm
yeah,
just a better person when I have a
yeah,
dog and especially this one. But yeah, any of them like it just changes the whole it fills the house with such love. Yeah.
yeah, definitely. My mom has always uh told me she thinks our the dog she had when my sister and I were born that she thinks he probably sensed I was sick before I was actually diagnosed because like he would not leave my side. So my mom was
Wow.
just a few years ago, she was like looking back on it, I think he sensed something.
Isn't that wild? They do
Yeah.
that though.
Yeah.
They like they can know things before we do.
Yeah.
And their behavior will change a little. Like they won't know how to react to it, but you probably could now be like, oh, he must have known.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that was in when were you first?
I was first diagnosed before I was 3.
Oh,
So,
yeah. Wow. So the dog would not, as you were a baby and a
yeah.
child, like would not leave your side.
Yeah, he was very protective of both me and my sister, but yeah, um he would not leave my side. And so yeah.
Uh, isn't that incredible?
Yeah.
Like, what was his name?
Roosevelt.
Her name, Rosabelle?
His name, Roosevelt.
His name Oh, Roosevelt. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, that's a great name. I thought you said Rosabelle. I was
Oh,
like, oh yeah, Roosevelt. Oh, wow. Good name. Good name
yeah.
for a dog.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Isn't it wild when we think about it? Because it's funny you were asking about like moments that like changed my life or what had the biggest impact. I mean, every dog I've had,
Yeah.
I mentioned all people, but I could tell the same story about dogs.
Yeah.
Like every dog I have had has changed my life in some wild way. Like truly, truly. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, so I am a pop culture obsessed and I go in stages of shows that I cannot stop watching. Is there
Okay.
a show that you are currently obsessed with?
Oh my gosh. Well, it's just hard now because like the obsession, it's like over quickly. Love The Diplomat. I watched the Carrie Russell show. It's on Netflix. I love her and I love that show. Um, I just binged, here are all my recent binges. The Diplomat, Nobody Wants This,
Yeah.
um, Love is Blind. Um, uh, and then I would say, like, over my life, the show that I have gone back to repeatedly and watched over and over and over and over again was Sex in the City.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, it was like my forever and ever and ever my comfort show. But since I've been here and I've been working, I don't have as much time here in Toronto meeting and working. I'll get a weekend and I'm so tired by the weekend. I'll just binge an entire season of something. So I'm watching the morning show as well. Wait, what else am I? I think those are the ones I've just completed or I'm currently watching because the morning show is weekly. What about you? What are you watching right now?
Oh, I mean, there's a lot. I started watching the new show Down Cemetery Road on
Oh yeah,
Apple.
yeah. I haven't
That
seen that yet, but it looks good.
yeah, it's really good. I love that show. I there's a lot. I mean, I just finished the new season of Nobody Wants This.
Mhm.
Um, and I'm trying to think of what else. There's so much that I've been watching that sometimes I lose track of it. There's a lot of shows coming out weekly that
Yeah.
I mean I'm obsessed with. I'm obsessed with I mean my new obsession is Boston Blue. Um and so that one I'm obsessed with that.
Thank you. Thank you, Maya.
Yeah,
Thank you, Maya.
yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's my new
You don't
obsession.
have to say that.
No, I love that show. I'm obsessed with that. I love Brilliant Minds.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah, Brilliant
so
Minds.
much.
That shoots up here in Toronto too, I've heard.
Oh
Look who
yeah.
came to say hi.
Oh, oh, Linus. I love that
He said
name.
hi.
He's so
He's the
cute.
best boy. He's pretty cute.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Aren't you cute?
Oh,
Aren't you cute? Yeah.
yeah. He's so cute.
His little ears.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
Yay.
Yeah, there
Well, I love that you're watching Boston Blue. That's very sweet, Maya.
yeah, I was so excited when it premiered. So yeah.
Thank you. We are
Yeah.
too. We're excited. There's really good stuff coming up on the show. So
Oh,
we're all very excited too. Yeah.
oh, I can't wait.
For everybody to see it. Mhm.
Yeah. Oh, I can't wait. Yeah. Yeah, so what genre of movie would your life story be told as?
What genre of movie? Does everyone say horror? Um, I would probably say I'd probably say romantic comedy. Just because I've had a lot of relationships, so I think a lot of my life has played out and a lot of my life lessons and a lot of things have come from really, it would definitely be a comedy. But I think I'd say like a quirky romantic comedy. Yeah.
Oh, I love that.
I like I keep it like pretty light, but maybe like a quirky romantic comedy with a little like mystery and some scares in there sometimes. But for the most part, we keep it light, we keep it fun, we keep it romantic.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think that would be it. Or like something ridiculous, like I think I just my head just went to like National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation or something, but like very silly comedies. But now I think romantic comedy feels right. It's
Oh,
also one of my favorite genres, but I also
yeah.
think that would be like a yeah.
Oh, I love
Yeah.
that. Yeah,
That's
rom-coms
such a
are
good question.
thank you. Yeah, rom-coms are one of my favorite genres too. I've always wanted my life story to both a musical and a rom-com. So,
Musical. Oh, a rom-com musical. Let's
yeah.
go. Maya, we got to make that happen.
I would
That's
love
awesome.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a great idea. I love that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
These are great. You are good. You're good. You have really good questions.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. They're
Um,
very, very, yeah.
Thank you. Um, so if you had a warning label, what would yours say?
Oh my gosh. Hold on. Um, Probably like overthinker, careful, like overthinker, careful, like obsessive overthinker. Um, yeah. Or oh, these are so funny. What would my warning label be? Oh my gosh. Yeah. I'd probably be like careful or like a wine. No, I'm gonna go with like if it's a warning, yeah, it's gonna be like I'm an overthinker.
Oh, yeah, I can definitely relate to that. So, yeah.
Like like stay up at night obsessively over um overthink. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I can definitely relate to that. Um,
That's such a funny question if you came with a warning label.
um, so what is the best advice you have ever gotten?
Hmm. I mean, I go back to that, like you keep your own golf score. It is the one thing I do try to kind of like live by. And so I do consider it really a not that it's really advice, but it is like a way, like a direction or like a what am I trying to say? Like a compass. It's like it kind of keeps my compass in check when I'm thinking about how, speaking of overthinking, how, I always like if I'm like offline overthinking, or we like, we got to come back. And like when I say that, it's like I think something about you keep your own golf score is like how do we stay aligned? How do we keep our compass pointed in the right direction? Um, and that line is what my head will go back to, is like, all right, well, where are we with, where do we where do we feel, we meaning like me, Maggie, little Maggie, future Maggie, all the Maggies, like feel, we're um how do we feel about this, or how do we feel in any situation, in any direction we're going. And I try to live by it. I really do.
I
Or
love
I try to let that be a guide. Yeah.
I love that. Yeah. Um,
Yeah.
so, do you have any irrational fears?
Oof. It depends. Irrational fears. Like I have a pretty not that it's irrational because it's like um they sting, but wasps, oh my gosh. I can handle bees all day. Give me a bee, we're fine. I'm like, I've been stung by bees, it's okay. But if a wasp is following me or lands on me or my dog, like I will, well, if it landed on Linus, I would Mama Bear would come out. But I have a tendency with the wasps. I go into like a crazy terror mode.
Mm.
But I just want to say it's not that irrational, just because it's like,
Yeah.
you know, I have a fear that even if I've never turned my curling iron on, that I have forgotten to turn the curling iron off.
Mm.
Like I will sometimes, Maya, not even remember if I curled my hair. Not even, and I'll get halfway down the street and I'll be like, I gotta go back. I think I left the curling iron on. I think I left the curling iron on. It has been for a long time. I've just always think I'm gonna like start a fire by leaving the curling iron on.
Mm.
So isn't that crazy? Is that's a pretty irrational fear?
I feel like my brain's just one big irrational fear, so I'm always like, I get it. I so I don't
Honestly,
think I'm the right person to ask.
honestly, Maya, same. Like same. But um I was trying to get specific so I could like do justice to your brilliant questions that you're answering or asking. But I went, I would say yes, my whole brain. Good call. Good thing, Maya.
Thank you. Yeah, my mom just the other day was telling me something, and she was like, I know this is irrational. And I was like, who am I to tell somebody else that their fear is irrational? I'm like, I'm not in that position to tell anybody that when I have too many irrational fears.
You know what? That's actually beautiful. That's like, it's that, Maya, you're something else. I mean, even just to have the awareness to say something like that, that's like, who am I to say what an irrational fear is to somebody else? Like, it takes a certain kind of person to say that anyway. Yeah.
Oh,
So thank you for validating my irrational fears as possibly being completely rational,
yeah,
even
of
if they
course.
are completely irrational.
Yeah.
They're real fears.
Yeah. Um, what are the songs that make you sing along whenever you hear them?
Oh my goodness. I don't know why I went to this. Um, I Want to Dance with Somebody by Whitney Houston.
Oh, yeah.
The beginning of that song starts, and I'm just like, everything must stop, and I must sing and dance to this song right now. Like it will always put me in a good mood. It's old school. There's something so, I mean, come on, it's Whitney, but like that is so silly and also all right, and I'm not gonna lie, it's that time of year. I cannot listen to All I Want for Christmas Is You too many times by Mariah Carey. I just heard it today and I was like, oh, it's not too soon. It's November. We can listen to this now. But yeah, that's seasonal. But yeah, Mariah Carey. This song I love to sing to. If I'm in a bad mood, it always puts me in a good mood. It's called Real Love by Mary J. Blige. Um, always. That song starts too, and I'll turn it up and want to sing. Um, I love, I mean, I can think of a few probably Taylor Swift songs, but for the most part, that's the first one that came to mind was I Want to Dance with Somebody by Whitney Houston.
Yeah, that I love that song. So,
It's so good,
yeah,
right? It's just
yeah,
like, how do you not feel good
yeah,
listening to that song? Yeah,
yeah,
it's like, it's
exactly.
great.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, there's so many songs for me that too that I'll burst out singing if they come on. So yeah.
Give me one. Give me just one.
Okay.
Because I'm like you, my list is so long,
Yeah.
but give me one.
John Hughes movie by Macy Peters.
Oh, great. Oh, let's
Yeah.
go, Maya.
Yeah, I am obsessed with that song. So yeah,
I love
yeah.
it.
I'm obsessed with Macy Peters. So it's any like Macy Peters song or like MGK or Asher Angel, all those artists I will just sing along to.
I love that. I love that.
So yeah. Um
What?
sorry, what?
I was just gonna say, what fun questions. I'm still stuck on them. Like, these are great.
Thank you. Um So, what subject could you give a TED Talk on, even though you're totally unqualified on that subject?
Oh man. Probably hold on. Let me think. A subject that I could give a TikTok, a TED Talk on, a TikTok, wow. That I'm not totally qualified. It definitely has to be food or coffee related. I think it's going to be like how to make the perfect latte. And from temperature to the ritual like of choosing what coffee you're going to use or espresso you're going to use to like the perfect froth of the milk to like yeah, I'm terrible at it. It's not great, but I put so much time and energy and effort. I feel like you would think at how much I love it and the amount of time I like put into exploring and testing and working with how to make the perfect morning latte that I would be like studying to become like a barista. I'm not. It's just for me.
I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really? Do you? It's pretty terrible.
Well, I would watch that. So,
I could also give a TikTok or a TED Talk. Why do I keep saying TikTok? I could also give a, um, a TED Talk on how to uh like how to ruin a perfectly beautiful moment or thought by overthinking it and shrinking it to nothing at all. I can give a real good TED Talk on that. I'm getting better. I'm getting better at not doing that, but I do think I was for a while at least really good. Like I could just overthink something to the point where I'm like, I don't even remember what the thing was that was the problem to begin with. Oh wait, that's right, there wasn't a problem. I created a problem in my own head that hasn't happened or doesn't exist.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, so I just have one last question for you. Um,
Okay.
so I love inspiring and motivational quotes, and this week the one that spoke to me is "Don't you dare forget who you are. You've walked sorry, I'm stumbling over all my words. Um, don't you dare
Oh no.
forget who you are. You've walked through fire. You don't flinch at sparks. Um,
Whoa.
is there a quotation that has inspired you lately?
Yep. It's so funny you say that. It actually is similar to yours. The other night I watched, I don't even know what prompted me to, it's weird that you just said that, Maya, because the first thing that came to my head was a quote from The Lion King. And it was in my head, I just heard remember who you are. Um, but I have a couple. So I'll say that remember who you are because I watched The Lion King the other night with Linus. Because it was hilarious and he loves watching the animals. It's just hilarious. But I kept thinking, they say remember who you are a lot in that. And I just think it is such a beautiful, sort of goes back to everything we've been saying in this. But behind me is a painting that a friend made for me. Let me see if I can shine light on it so you can see the quote. So it's spelled out a little bit weird, but there you go. What if you, I know it's a little backwards, fly. Oops, there,
Oh,
which is from a Winnie the Pooh quote that is, well, what if I fall? And it's like, oh, but darling, what if you fly? And a friend of mine made this for me for my birthday, but it just got delivered like a few days ago. So, um, I, and she knows it's one of my favorite quotes. So it's very meaningful to me because I think that a lot of times that is our thinking is like we're afraid to try anything because we're so afraid we're going to fall or fail. But the only other possibility of that is that you don't and you fly. And so what if that was the thinking and that could, anyway, and I just think it's beautiful. So I have those are my two. Because I did just watch The Lion King and it you said the same thing. But this one, um, whenever I'm sort of weighing something out or I'm in fear of something or whatever, I think about that quote, that Winnie the Pooh. Anyway,
Oh,
yeah.
I love both of those, and Winnie the Pooh has always been my favorite. So,
Come on, right? It's just
yeah,
like it just doesn't, yeah.
yeah,
Um, yeah.
yeah,
This
yeah.
is like you're such a good interviewer. You are just made for this, and I you have just such great questions. And Maya, like you're such an inspiration. You're just an incredible person, and I thank you so much for reaching out, but like for all that you do. It's you're spreading joy.
Thank you so much. That means the world to me. And I mean, I know you probably already know this from talking with Jimmy, and but Psych is like my comfort show. I watch it all the time, and my family and I watch it all the time together. We're just, yeah, constantly rewatching it. So, and we quote it all the time. Um, so
I
I
love
can't tell you what this means to me to be talking with you. So thank you so much.
Maya, thank you so much. And by the way, like reach out again or anytime if, there's anything I can do or we can do ever, even with you or for you or another interview or whatever, we like just don't hesitate.
Thank you so much. Yeah,
Yeah.
whenever you if you ever want to come back on, I would love to talk with you again and see Linus. Um,
He's like,
so
don't forget about me.
yeah,
Um,
I could
and
never.
Maya, I would absolutely love to and hopefully soon and look at him. He's like chilling. He He loves being on camera. And go give Roni a kiss from us. And he heard kiss, and give your mom a hug too.
I will. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Look at this boy. He's just like very comfortable right now.
Oh, I love that. Um, yeah, so thank you so much again for joining me. I can't tell you what this means to me. So
Well, it means so much to me too. And thank you. And thank you for your brilliant questions and for being such a lovely interviewer and a thoughtful interviewer. Like it's just such a nice conversation, and I loved it. Thank you.
thank you. I loved it too. You have made my week. So thank you.
Good.
I
Same,
hope you have a
same.
great rest of your day. And that's a wrap on today's edition of The Latest with Maya.